A minestrone is a broth. It's made with fresh vegetables, our brown stock, but the idea of a broth is so that the vegetables you include will actually thicken the soup. There's no flours or corn flours involved. It will just be thickened by its own ingredients. We do have potatoes with a little bit of starch in it, which will add a little bit of thickness. We do have macaroni going into it, which will also add a little bit of residue flour and thickness to our soup. So nothing else to do. Let's start with the basics. Let's start with the front. On the pan here, I've got a pan on the heat. I'm going to add a little bit of oil, and into that, I'm just going to fry off my onion. A little bit of onion in there, a little bit of garlic, just maximising those flavours, getting those flavours going as soon as we start. Already with the hot oil, the garlic is cooking, the onion's cooking, and the smells coming out of that pan are already setting your taste buds on fire. Into that, I've had a little bit of diced carrot. Again, with this dish, it's all important. It's a clear soup as such, so it's important that we keep our veg cuts neat, even, all the same shape and size, so they all cook at the same time. We're adding our hearty vegetables to start with. So in there we've got our onion, which will take a while to cook. We've got our carrot, which will take some time. Here we have some diced swede, and we have some nicely diced up leek. We can get that stirring, get it cooking, get the heat turned up. Let's get that vegetable sweating. Let's get those vegetables sweating off their flavours and into our soup. Our brown stock from earlier, a nice dark brown stock, the colour, the richness, we'll add into that. We'll start off with that, we'll bring that up to the boil. We'll start those flavours infusing, get some heat into that, bring it up to a boil before we can move on. It's a visual soup. You want to eat with your eyes. So I can see the colours, I can see the swede, I can see the carrot, I can see those flecks of leek running through the dish. It's very much eating with your eyes. Into that, I'm going to add a tin of chopped tomatoes. Again, another flavour, another dimension, another consistency. I'm going to bring that up to the boil. At this stage, I will lightly season it with pepper only. I'm not going to add any salt until the very, very end. A little bit of pepper. The aromatics going through it. And whilst it does come up to the boil, I'm just going to pop in my bouquet garni. Tie it to my handle so I don't lose it. And allow that to infuse and come up to the boil. The soup's been sat there simmering away for a good 10 minutes. The carrots have cooked, the onions have done their work and infused with the liquids and the other flavours. The swede's cooked, the leek's cooked. Now I'm going to add a few more colours, a few more dimensions to our broth. Into that, add a small cup of peas, some nicely chopped up long beans, some diced potatoes, and some chopped up cabbage, which is down to be stuck in the pan. Give that a little bit of a stir up. You can see how the soup is thickening itself. Obviously, once the potatoes start cooking and once our pasta is cooking, it will thicken up into a lovely broth. It's now been simmering away for a good 10 to 15 minutes. I can see the potatoes have cooked and the pasta is now cooked. So we're good to serve. Just one last little check before we serve up to our customers. Need to make sure that our seasoning is to our liking. So again, maybe a little grind of pepper. Pinch of salt. A little stir up. Just Okay, so one last test. Season it once, just make sure we don't need any more. Our soup is good to go. Again, taking the pan to the bowl, or the bowl to the pan, trying to avoid any drips. Ladle of soup in the centre of the bowl. Plenty of liquid, plenty of vegetables. Minestrone soup.